So here we are in Swansboro, and it is the start of their Christmas boat parade. Anyway, if the weather keeps up like this is going to be one of the best sailing days we've ever had.
Welcome aboard SailingWindGypsy. We're glad to have you here for our second season. This is Ginger. Here's Lisa. And I'm Richard. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
The entire downtown area here and the entire dock is just filled with spectators. We did not realize it when we pulled up here, but we got front row seats, which is sort of nice. And there's a couple sailboats pulled up over there to watch. And I see some small boats coming down the river here. Here is our boat neighbor, appropriately attired for the season. And here's Richard in his sailor drag.
Santa just pulled in off this Ranger tug. Should be going by our boat any minute. And here's the big guy himself. Hi, Santa! Oh, he knows I'm on the naughty list. He didn't say hi to me. And here's Ginger, a wet dog. And she's wet because she fell off the boat. Lisa and I were on the dock helping another boat, and she got excited, and yeah, she's... So we've got the heater on, trying to warm her up. She'll be fine.
I don't think she's cold.
No, I don't think she's cold. Yeah, cold was not. Yeah. Here we are in Swansboro. It is a beautiful town. Here in North Carolina, but I think everything in North Carolina is beautiful. And the people are amazing. They're undoubtedly some of the friendliest people we've ever met, and just really dog friendly. People want to know who Ginger is, and I mean, some people even walk around with dog treats. We had an issue with the dinghy. We hauled it down in Morehead City, which meant we had to come to a place with the dock. We couldn't go outside, so yeah, we're a week behind where we thought we'd be this time last week, but oh well. Sailing is just an excuse to say, well, that plan didn't work out. And there is our boat way down there. So this is where we come up from the marina. And you've got some stores here decorated. Candy store, that's always nice. And then a beautiful little square here. Twinkling Christmas lights on the tree. Santa was sitting there in the pavilion the other night when he came in front of our boat, and he wouldn't stop to talk to me. I guess I'm on the naughty list. But yeah, this is Swansboro, North Carolina. Ginger saying it's time to go. Shoulder.
So we've been here in Swansboro, tied up at the Church Street dock, the town dock, for a couple of days over Thanksgiving, because the weather has been very, very cold. Not so cold that you can't tolerate it on the boat, but cold enough that if we were anchored and we had to go in the dinghy to get to shore so Ginger could go pee, that would be really hellacious. So for the sake of getting the dog onto the dock without too much pain and suffering, we are paying to stay in a dock here. And the other thing is, it's really, really uncomfortable to be on the boat all day sailing or motoring in the ICW, and then be cold all night. It's just not fun. So we're waiting until the temperature is consistently above the low 30s to make a run towards the Cape Fear River. I appreciate the saying that good things come in small packages, but for $112, including shipping, I would like something in a bigger package with more bells, more lights, and more whistles.
It is getting pretty chilly here in Swansboro, North Carolina, but it is awfully pretty. But when I say chilly, I mean it's going down to like 26 degrees tonight. And, well, that's just a little cold in the boat. Never really goes below 55 in the boat, so it's not too bad. We're here and we're plugged in, so we have the heater on. But, yeah, would not want to not have the heater. That'd be really uncomfortable.
So last night we took the remote temperature sensor out of the refrigerator and stuck it in the engine room. We like to monitor the temperature in the refrigerator to make sure food stay cold, especially when it's really hot out. And obviously we haven't been needing to do that. We could just put all our refrigerated foods in the cockpit and they would be sufficiently cold or even frozen. But we were afraid of freezing the engine, so we put the remote sensor in the engine compartment, and it consistently read 44 all night, which is reassuring. I guess the water is still quite warm. It's at least 40 degrees in the water, even if the air temperatures have been as low as 28. So we don't have to worry about our engine freezing, and we're just going to be here a couple more days because it is still awfully cold. I am impressed with people who are still motoring down the ICW in this weather. Yummy pretzels coming out of the Easy Bake Oven.
Lisa makes the most delicious pretzels. And if you look at the duct tape on the edges of our air fryer, that's a good learning experience for making sure everything is stowed down and secured when you're sailing. And I don't think it was actually even us sailing. It was some passing
boat.
Yeah, Cape Hatteras. Yeah. Anyway, so everything's got to be stowed down, folks. But it still works, and it was free. Another beautiful sunny day here in North Carolina. Say hi, Lisa. Okay, it's a moving video, but she doesn't want to move too much. Oh, move the wheel. There you go. The bridge down here is under construction. You can see the old bridge is open, and the newer bridge only opens on the hour on Saturday and only opens once a day through the week. So right now we've got about 7 or 8 boats, and we've all been making concessions for each other and ensuring that the proper speed is matched to the placement of the boats going through the bridge, which is, you know, a lot of cooperation. It's nice to see everyone working so well on the water. Well, this is a new anchorage for us off the ICW. It is at Mile Hammock, which is in the Camp Lejeune military base. And the funny thing about the Camp Lejeune military base, which shouldn't come as a surprise, is if you're not military, they don't want you on it. So I and Ginger got approached by some very nice gentlemen explaining to us that, no, you can't do this because it's a military base. I didn't bother going into saying, well, on the waterway guide, people said that they landed here and they took their dog out and they went and bid up the jetty and they had picnics on the beach and all this stuff. So I thought it was very nice not to arrest me. So I'm good with that. But it is a very nice anchorage. And again, the people were very nice. And there's a boat from Switzerland behind us that I think we passed in Adams Creek. I mean, how many Swiss boats can there be here in the United States right now in this general area? So Ginger and I will not be going back on the marine base. And the gentleman said if we take the dinghy over to those islands over there, but I'm not sure if you meant on the other side of the ICW or those ones over there, but it'd be no problem. So we left Swansboro and we're anchored out in Mile Hammock. Where's the hammock mile? Mile Hammock. Yeah. And as such, we're not plugged in. We don't have any artificial heat. So it's
Except the dog.
The dog, yeah. Hopefully that got a picture of the dog. So yeah, this is supposed to be the least cold night. It's supposed to go down to like 35 tonight. It's usually about 10 degrees.
Positively balmy.
Balmy, darling. It's usually about 10 degrees warmer in the boat. So yeah, we could do that. We have our hats
Bonnets.
on. Bonnets.
So our hair doesn't get messed up while we sleep.
Well, yeah. Bouffant? Is it a bouffant? Anyway, so yeah. Yacht life, baby.
So, not something you see very often, but here is a distressed grounded shrimper. Here in the ICW, just past the head of Topsail Island. And this looks like it might have at one time been the dock where it tied up. It looks very substantial.
We are leaving Wrightsville Beach. We only spent one night here. We were here about 6 months ago on the way back up and kind of saw everything there was to see. So, where are we going today, Lisa?
Carolina Beach.
Woo, Carolina Beach. Think that's a good idea, Ginger?
Oh yeah, boss.
Well, Ginger thinks it's a good idea. It's got to be a good idea.
Not saying that it's time to put away our winter clothes, but it's like 67 degrees now. I'm hot. So here we are at Carolina Beach. We're at the mooring field on a mooring ball because the weather tomorrow is going to be awful with high winds. And we are taking a dinghy tour. Richard asked if 34% was okay on the phone, and he was like, well, you know, it should be okay if we don't take any videos. Ha 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 ha. What do you mean not take any videos? Ooh, I really like that dark blue house there. But we are at the mooring field on one of the mooring balls in Carolina Beach. They also have a lovely looking anchorage. But the winds tomorrow are supposed to be up to 30 knots? 35 knots. So much rather be on a mooring ball than at anchor. And we aren't going to be able to get out tomorrow to do this. So today's the day. Seize the day.
Hi, Mom.
So, we are having lunch here in Carolina Beach at, what's this place called? Something Smokehouse. And Richard is having brisket tacos.
Oh, yeah.
And I am having the pulled pork sandwich. We have already eaten most of the hush puppies. And the waitresses were so enamored with Ginger, they brought her a little doggy dish. Ginger did think this was the best place to stop and eat after the waitresses came out and petted her, and she could smell that they smelled like roasted pork. And here we are just off the boardwalk, and here is the classic beachfront boulevard with all the souvenir shops and little restaurants and places to get your beach wear. So Carolina Beach definitely has the cheekiest birds. Here's a couple of pelicans
All up there
sitting
too.
on top of the live bait wells, and all of these other pelicans hoping that something's going to jump out for them to eat. But when we tried to moor and we're picking up the mooring ball, a heron landed on the mooring ball, and it was like daring Richard to pick up that pennant. I dare ya, I'm not moving. Well, luckily, finally the bird did fly away. Richard didn't have to swat at it with the boat hook. And just when we were coming in on the dinghy, we passed within, like 5 feet of some pelican, and you could see him roll his pelican eye at us, but he was not moving.
Here we are, Ginger and I, over at the dinghy dock here in Carolina Beach. You can see our dinghy down there. And there's our boat. Wednesday morning, they're expecting 45 knot gale winds here. That's why we're here on that mooring ball. I want to feel nice and secure. Fun and games.
So we've been getting gusts up to about 35 knots. I think up to 40 plus were predicted, but doesn't seem that bad. We were concerned about our 3 flexible solar panels we have up here. They're just tied down, but they seem to be doing fine. And our solar panels are just U-bolted onto a bimini frame here without the fabric, which does help stabilize it some. But when we were in Toledo Beach, we had one storm with gusts that were supposedly up to 48 knots, and it was fine. We also had gusts up to 38 with high sustained winds down in the Keys, and it did seem to do fine if we get anything consistently over 40, though these things are coming down and getting put in the boat. It's not like we're getting any solar from them, so. But yeah, we were just swinging around here. We're in Carolina Beach, and this inlet here is protected on all sides, which is really nice. So there's no waves and very little fetch. So except for the swinging, it's really comfortable. We're rocking a little bit from side to side when we get a heavy gust. But I don't think it's nearly as bad as was predicted, and everything seems to be passing right over Oriental. Those guys are getting hammered.
It is 34 degrees outside, 48 in the boat, so I call that a win. We are leaving the mooring field here in Carolina City. Ginger helped me take the mooring ball off. Good dog. It was a nice day. Yesterday was blowy all get out with log winds of 35 knots, but it was supposed to go up to 40. I don't know if it did or not, because you can't spend the whole time in the cockpit looking at the wind gauge.
We got a little too fascinated by watching this this guy shrimping, I guess, because he's dragging a net, and we almost cut him off. It was totally our fault.
Some kind of dredging operation going out here towards the bottom of the Cape Fear River, just outside of Southport. You're probably not going to be able to hear this over the wind, but we are looking at getting new microphones just to avoid doing all the voiceovers. Think we need new microphones, Lisa?
Ooh, yeah.
Whoa. Sounds like someone's getting a Christmas present. So although this is actually on the chart as the Cape Fear River, Southport, we just call it Southport, makes it easier. Heading down to Holden Bay. We're gonna stay there for a couple of days. It's gonna get a little blowy and cold again, so we're gonna plug in and warm up. Lisa is not trying to be a superhero with a black cape. She is getting ready for
the
hair cutting time. Now she's examining it to see whether or not I cut it too short.
Not too short.
And here go chunks of Lisa's hair floating down the ICW. Kind of thought it might have broken up and dispersed more, but it'll make good nesting material for some waterfowl. Here in Holden Beach, they have the, well, it's not really a gazebo. What would you call that?
Picnic shelter.
Picnic shelter. Nicely decorated with a Christmas tree. But
the Christmas tree wasn't lit
Neither-
until today, when a man with a white beard and a red coat showed up and figured out how to get the lights to come on.
Ho, 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 baby. Yeah, that was the only thing that was lit, that one little pillar there.
Yeah.
Anyway. Do you believe in Santa Claus, little girl?
Oh, yeah. If you don't believe in Santa Claus, you don't get presents.
I believe in Santa Claus. Here from the dock is the view of the Christmas tree. If you were traveling down the ICW at night, you would see that, but most people don't travel down the ICW at night because it's not lit.
So here you see the ICW green marker 51A. Don't go between the green marker and the dock. Here is the end of the floating dock, and you can see that it's not floating right now at low tide. There's about 4 feet of depth at this end at low tide. On the other hand, this end, we are still floating at 5.5 feet.
We are leaving Holden Beach, and we have some stowaways. Got some grackles on our backstay and on our spreaders. That's pretty impressive. One of them kind of pooped on our deck, but I never saw that blue chest before. That's really pretty. They're here to wish you good luck, Lisa.
They're grackles, not crows.
Still nice.
And we're going to be in South Carolina today, and hopefully that'll mean it's going to warm up some. Ginger today is surprisingly tolerant of being covered up with a blanket. Usually she doesn't like the blanket. It's always a little nerve-wracking when Richard takes Ginger to shore where it's fairly isolated. We have a lot of current and it's cold. So I stay on the boat and he takes Ginger. So if anything happens, I can coordinate a rescue.
This is the first time we've ever been at this anchorage. This is Bird Island over here, just on the way to the ocean. That is the Little River Inlet. There we go. Now you can see the waves going by. So that's why it's important. Pay attention to navigational aids. You don't want to be on the wrong side. Those all appear to be on the shore side between the green and the shore. So the green indicates that the water's shallow or there's some type of hazard over there, and because the waves are breaking, I would be pretty sure that the water is shallow.
So we had no idea that these enormous cruise ships came up the Little River Inlet into the ICW. And the first time we were coming down, it was late at night. sort of getting dark, and one of these snuck up behind us. We're not really sure how that happened, but it was a good lesson. Keep checking your 6.
Going down the ICW, sometimes I wish we were going at night. Our first time down was at, we stopped way up at the beginning near Myrtle Beach, and we did see some boats with lights going by. I think this one would be pretty spectacular. But it's kind of hard to go at night, so we're going in the daytime.
We've been down the ICW by Myrtle Beach 3 times now. It's not the most beautiful part of the trip by any means, and I don't necessarily recommend the Myrtle Beach part, but if you go through the Myrtle Beach part, you get to the Waccamaw River, which is absolutely gorgeous and a pleasure to just slowly motor down, and there are plenty of places to anchor, and an excellent marina, the Waka Waka Marina, where you can get gas, diesel, restaurant. But we've been now through the rock cut at Myrtle Beach 3 times. Once we did go through at low tide, which was quite intimidating. At high tide, it looks like nothing. We do not see these giant outcroppings of rock. So, I don't know, pick your poison. Either you want to see what the danger is, or you just want to be blissfully unaware. So, Ginger, do you think we made it to warm Carolina?
Phone's hanging out, boss. I think I'm pretty warm now.
Finally, a warm day. We are now in warm Carolina for sure. After going back and forth between North and South Carolina, we are now closer to the promised land, where it's warm all year round.
We are in the Waccamaw River. It's always been one of our favorite places on the ICW, and it was part of the reason we decided to do the ICW today, as opposed to going out, because if you're going to do it, do your favorite parts, right? So we are anchored, which is our first time anchoring in the Waccamaw. We don't anchor that much in the ICW. Over there is a marina we stayed at last year. We'll go get fuel there tomorrow morning. So looking forward to a peaceful night tonight. Looks pretty nice. There's a sailboat down the creek there, and a power boat. Not sure how much that power boat moves. Looks like it's got an ICW mustache. It's the green around the bottom. So we'll see if it's going to be a good night, and here's open. Considering we live on the water, we don't usually come across fog like this. So this is kind of neat. Once we get into warmer places, we'll see even less fog. But it is pretty warm this morning. It's got to be in the high 50s.
So we woke up this morning to this.
What?
Yes, that is fog. Oh, there you can barely see the shore there. But Richard was really super excited because it was the first time we got to put up our fog bell.
But I'm not going to stand here and ding it every 15 seconds.
And the water is perfectly still, so we are not moving very much. Oh, yeah, it's foggy.
Yeah, this morning I could see over to the
Marina?
marina.
Yeah, you cannot see the marina at all now. You cannot see the flashing green light. I guess they might have turned it off, though, because it's past sunrise.
Here's our view at night here in Murrells Inlet. That's what it shows on the weather chart. We are actually in the Waccamaw River. This is Wakawachi
marina across from us.
We are heading back down the Waccamaw River. We just left a wonderful anchorage, very peaceful. We got fogged in the other morning, so we thought, oh, what the heck, let's stay. So we only have a short trip today, 18.5 nautical miles down to Georgetown. And should be a nice day for it. Just gotta avoid all the stuff in the river. Last night at 4 in the morning, I ended up pulling a 10-foot log that was caught on our anchor chain and bumped up against our boat. So I had to pull that off. So it's 4 in the morning, so I don't take videos at 4 in the morning. I just get up, do the work, and try to go back to bed. So trust me, it happened.
So when we were coming down the Waccamaw River, when we were coming down the Waccamaw River last winter, we did not see all of this dead water hyacinth floating in the water. And not only is there a ton of dead water hyacinth, but tons of floating logs that I don't remember the last time around. And it's not quite as beautiful in the fall, winter as it is in the spring. So this is the U.S. Coast Guard going by the marina here, which is a no-wake zone. The harbor master and by extension Richard got into a little tiff with some Miami powerboat driver who thought no wake was 10 miles an hour or 20 miles an hour. And we still got rocked pretty badly here on the outside. But if you want to know what no wake looks like, this is it. Thank you, U.S. Coast Guard.
Now this looks like an island, but it's not. It's just a bunch of floating debris here in front of a Heritage Marina. I think it's Heritage Park Marina. Had a nice night there. Good stopover in the middle of the Waccamaw, well, not the middle of the Waccamaw River, close to Georgetown. Now this is something I rarely do, and I'm videotaping while I'm driving the dinghy. Ginger's keeping a watch for me. This is a very, very attractive property down here in Georgetown. We got great pictures of it last year from inside. And now we can get some pictures from the waterfront. Absolutely stunning. Ginger's doing a good job. I haven't hit anything. Season's greetings. The abandoned steel mill doesn't look so bad in the dark. That's our boat there. You can see the mast light and a light I have on the bow, so it makes it easier for people at water height to see us. That was actually Lisa in the cockpit holding a flashlight for us.